And welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. We're going to head straight into the reserve today. First day we're going to go into called the Little Aturi Forest. And you're going to see right away lots of shady areas with the trees here. So that means, of course, there's going to be lots of places for animals to be hiding. In the reserve on the right there, you see the bamboo fence line that borders the reserve. There's an okapi way back in the hill up on the corner of the hillside. Okapi, zebra-like striping on their legs and their hind quarter. They're not a member of the zebra family at all, though. They're a member of the giraffe family. Okapi usually very shy. In fact, only discovered by the Western world back in 1901. When people thought they were just a myth. You want to find out more about okapi? When we come back from our trip, you can go over there by the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. I'll give you lots of information on them over there too. So we'll check out all the watering holes as we come through here. Watering holes, of course, are very important in the lives of the animals. I've seen black rhino on the other side of this big watering hole on the left. We'll look there today, but look up here on the right too, up ahead. You'll see greater kudu, light brown striped antelope. Greater kudu, second tallest antelopes in Africa. A little bit smaller than a Patterson's eland. Full-grown male weighing about 750 pounds. Couple females there. Males with large horns. There's a black rhino. See on the left up there? All covered in mud. Yeah, black rhino kind of rare to find around. They've been hit hard by poaching. Estimated less than 5,000 of them left in the world now. Very thick skin on a black rhino. Very tough. They can repel any carnivore known except for people. People are considered to be their biggest threat. But we'll check for more black rhino. We'll watch them in the hills on the left here as we go along. More antelope on the right. Bongo coming up, dark brown striped antelope, swept back horns. Bongo usually kind of shy around here. In fact, we gave him a nickname, the Ghost of the Forest, because you rarely see them walking around out here in the daytime hours. You're starting to see now coloring and striping on animals is going to be a big factor in helping them blend to the surroundings, and in turn, it's a key factor in their survival in the wild. Little Aturi Forest. We'll check around over by Safi River. Safi River, sometimes good place for finding Nile hippopotamus. Down on the right there. See where the tree fell in the river? Looks like there's a hippo in the water over there by the tree. So maybe two of them there. Check on the left here too. That's the really deep end of the river. Yeah, all down the left. Looks like rocks going through the river. Those are all hippo. Hippos spend their time mostly in the water, and their bodies overheat quickly. A newborn hippo weighs about 85 pounds. Full-grown male starts tilting the scales somewhere well over 5,000 pounds. So we can find some a bit closer. Pigback pelicans here too. Large pelicans nesting on the island. Whole flock gathers fish in the shallow water. So they feed at the same time. Hippo again. Remember, you're looking underwater out there. People have a tendency to think hippos swim underwater. Hippos don't swim, but if it's a shallow river, it's easier if they walk around or glide around on the river bottom. A full-grown hippo holds its breath underwater close to 8 minutes at a time. Bridge up here. Make sure you stay seated. Cross your fingers for us. We'll watch the bridge. Look around. Now, crocodiles might be looking at you down below. Oh, yeah, they're large. Full-grown male grows about 25 feet in length, weighs about 200 pounds. See some of the crocs laying on the banks of the river with their mouths open, keeping their mouths open to cool themselves down, or when it's necessary, to warm themselves up. That's how they regulate their body temperature. We'll leave one ecosystem behind us. We'll head on to a different ecosystem with different animals as we go. Show you some at the top of the big hill. You see the big tree Up ahead on the right across the trail is what's known as a baobab tree. It's a fairly common sight on the plains of Africa. Baobab trees get leaves around 3 months out of the year in total, so 90 days on and on through the year. That big tree has leaves, the rest of the year looks like that. Reason they swell up to that size, the trunks hold water. Elephants puncture those open with their tusks in the event that they need fresh drinking water. Good look at the savanna down below. The savanna part of the vast Serengeti grassland system. Zebra, wildebeest migrate through here. Giraffes and antelopes live here all year long. All part of the wild Africa we work to save. See on the right? There's some cattle way back into the meadow there for the old trail. They're Ankoli cattle. Their horns grow about 5 or 6 feet in length apiece. With a circumference at the base of about 22 inches. The horns heavy? They're actually not very heavy. They're honeycombed inside. We'll see if we can find a few more of those. First giraffe spotting's up ahead on the right. Also look like some African wild dogs up ahead there too. We'll see if we can come around and get a better look. Giraffes, of course, are the tallest mammals. A baby giraffe, when it's born, is already going to be close to 6 feet tall. Adults go anywhere from 16 to 20 feet tall, depending on their subspecies. What you see here, Maasai giraffe. Maasai giraffe, a little darker in color than the average giraffe. Pattern on their coat, very broken up, very jagged looking. Here's those African wild dogs. A lot of people think those are hyena. Those are not hyena. Hyena are a whole different species of animal. Those are African wild dogs. They call them painted dogs, too. African wild dogs, the most successful hunters in Africa. They outdo every cat group on the continent. They hunt in packs. They pursue their prey, so their prey drops them exhaustion, no matter how long it takes. After that, that's when they close in. So checking out giraffes around us. You see a Maasai giraffe out here. Maasai giraffe, a little bit darker in color than the average giraffe. Pattern on their coat, very broken up, very jagged looking. Some people think it looks like a jigsaw puzzle pattern on the coat. Some people think it looks like an oak leaf or a maple leaf pattern. It depends on the giraffe you watch, but it's very effective in letting them blend right to the natural environment. Sable antelope up on the left there too on the hills. Reddish-brown colored antelopes, long curved horns. Horns on sable antelope growing about 60 inches in length. The sable antelope, the official mascot of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Also seeing the cones of earth down here, lots of tall ones right around us. These are termite mounds you're looking at. Termite mounds are hard as concrete, very tall ones. Elephants use like scratching posts, but they'll break them all and wear them down eventually. After that, antelope and gazelle use a small termite mound. As a lookout point to watch for predators that hide in tall grass. Now, the conditions you see on this savanna, they've been created pretty much by this wildlife that's living around us here. Elephants are the bulldozers, knocking trees down so they can eat them. That's going to let the grasses spread. Giraffes are like pruning shear. They like eating leaves from the undersides of trees. It lets the sunlight pass through. Zebra and large antelopes eat the tall grass. Small eaters like springbok or warthogs trim up the edges. Sort of balanced system, food for all. Another look at those Ankoli cattle up on the right back there. And still seeing Maasai giraffe into the trees. You see how quickly animals will blend in. White-bearded wildebeest. Up ahead across on the right there. Looks like some springbok mixed in with them too. White-bearded wildebeest, more commonly known as the ewe, the African word describing the grunting sound they make. White-bearded wildebeest are one of the last of the large, great migrating herd of animals on the planet. Experts say 1.5 million of them migrate through the grasslands of eastern Africa every year. Springbok up there too, tiny tan black and white striped antelope. Springbok getting the name from their ability to spring. They're good leapers. If you feel threatened by a predator, they jump up and down when they run. They take a good leap about 11 feet out and across. Very impressive to see. Springbok very similar looking to Thompson's gazelle, but believe it or not, a full-grown Thompson gazelle actually smaller than those full-grown springbok. This far, we can head toward elephant country. We can also take a quick pass by Monkey Point. Monkey Point up ahead on the left on the other side of the big rocks. Up on the left, seeing a troop of mandrills go through the rocks and big trees here sometimes. Mandrills are just monkeys in Africa. Full-grown males going to weigh about 100 pounds. Yeah, look around toward the bottom of the rocks. Look in the shade. Hey, look on the right, too. You know you're going in elephant country this way. Yeah, there's a big red clay pit. It's way up on the hills into the right. Last time around, the elephant herd went way up there. So we're going to go up there, too. See if we can follow along and try and find more elephants. Check the field on the right. Could be one time whole elephant herd might have been on this side of the clay pit. And then some of them just split off and started walking across to the other side. That's fine. There's big watering holes around the other way. We'll go around on the other side too, see if we can find them there. Currently, the Harambe Wildlife Reserve involved in a scientific study with the elephants here. And vocalization and communication. The theory is, if you learn how elephants communicate and understand what they're saying, you might be better able to help out their needs. So once we locate the herd, might be research teams there too. Could be lots of people, lots of vehicles around them. The job for them is to try to record those elephants, the very low rumbling noises that they use to talk to each other in an effort to find out what they're trying to say. If they find out they're having trouble, they might be able to help. Other side of the red clay pit here. Elephants came down this way. Look around, you see some clues, lots of tusk marks up and down the walls, lots of footprints around. Elephants eat this red clay, gives them nutrients. Their diet of leaves and grass does not. And look out ahead, we're not too far behind them. Yeah, so we were right. Herd came out of the big end of the clay pit and they went to the watering holes up ahead. And that's where we're going to go too. Elephants on the plains, you're going to start to see as we get closer and closer to them. Some of them have lots of dirt, lots of mud on their backs. Elephants spray dirt and mud and grass on their bodies, keep their skin cool and protect them from sunburn. Their skin is very sensitive to the sun. Yeah, this herd went all the way down toward the water. Let's come around the rocks. Young elephant out there. It's a couple of months old. Yeah, that's going to be mom over there with it too. Elephant childhood almost as long as a human's childhood. Little one will stay close to its mom a long time, 15 years. All that time, little one's going to learn to find food and water. He'll learn to survive all by itself in the wild. The more you study elephants, the more you realize how important their family structuring system is going to work out to be for them. See elephants eating. Out here, 2 elephants, big eaters. Yeah, 300 pounds of food every day. Greater flamingo up ahead around the island. Light pink flamingo, lightest pink flamingo in the species. Greater flamingo get their pink coloring from beta carotene. They get that from the brine shrimp they eat. The grayish looking ones you see mixed in are still considered to be the younger ones. They get pinker as time goes on, but it takes time. It can take over a year, and sometimes even longer. White rhino territory through here. I'd watch in the shade of the trees and look through the bushes around us as we go. White rhino, unfortunately, not doing any better than black rhino, nearly poached to extinction for their horns, but hopefully one day they make a comeback thanks to anti-poaching messages and conservation efforts. Even on famous and well-protected reserves, poachers are going to find ways in. I'd watch into the trees around us for a white rhino. Also thinking about just switching trails. Maybe trying our luck over by the Western Trail. But to go to the Western Trail means going to the big rocks dividing the trail a little bit further out ahead. Here's a cheetah on that hill on the left there. Look at the hill on the left, look at the left corner, way back in there on the rock. Yeah, cheetah, fast as land mammal. Achieving a running speed close to 70 miles an hour just for a short period of time, though, about the length of a football field. They can't catch it, well, probably going to wind up letting that one go. Keep checking all down range on the left here now. Cheetah, only large cat group that hunts in the daytime. Use their sense of sight for hunting, not so much their sense of smell. It's hard to see cheetah once they go very deep into the shade of the trees. Now, we talked about switching trails, and we'll still do that. We'll go to the Western Trail. Big rocks dividing the trail should be just up ahead. Thinking that we came this way, I see a lion up on the rocks. There's a male up there, lion. You can tell by the male. Could be lioness below him in the crevices or around on the other side. We'll circle all around. Keep in mind about lions, male or female. They're all pretty much inactive like that all day. Between 18 and 20 hours. It's kind of rare when you do find them up and about. We'll look for more. Lions are the only large cat group that will hunt collectively in what's called a pride. Sometimes a lioness. Here's one. Watch on the left over there. She might come out. She might do a bit more of the hunting if the male does not have to stay back to try to protect lion cubs. The male goes too. There's white rhino off on the right, old part of the Western Trail. Ostrich back there too. White rhino, very muddy, very dusty. Not white, of course, they're gray. Their name comes from the Afrikaans word vid, which means wide. Talks about the wide mouth. We'll go check out those ostrich. Still checking out lions. Here you see that lioness, so there's the second one right behind her. Could be more lioness way toward the back of the hill where the male was. Could be laying very low on the ledge.
Now we get the front of the lion. They're very agile. Just like the other side. Look at that, look at that rock. See, that's the other side.
Just watching the trail up ahead on the left, you see holes in the ground along the hillside. Warthog burrows, and the warthogs that made them are over there too. Warthog, largest burrowing mammal in Africa. Use their tusks and their snouts to dig the burrows out. Small legs on warthogs, don't let it fool you. Charging speed of a warthog running, it's about 35 miles an hour. Ostrich up ahead again. Red zebra. Black rhino out here. We saw white rhino coming up here too.
Ostrich out the road, man.
White rhino, very small eyes, very narrow field of vision. Big reason they're an easy target for poaching. Very bad eyesight. See the ostrich staying close to the eggs on the right there. Ostrich eggs, largest bird eggs in the animal kingdom. Very heavy. Each one of the eggs weighs about 3 pounds apiece. Grand zebra up ahead. And white rhino there too. Grand zebra, also known as the common zebra or the plains zebra. And the two zebra stripes alike. It is true, you can tell them apart, just like a human's fingerprints. Zebras seem very gentle when you watch them, but don't let it fool you. If they're being chased by a charging lion, they have a kick that's going to break that lion's jaw. Crossroads ahead. Gates up here on the left side of the trail are open because that's where they started working. On the new end of the reserve, we'll see how they're doing. The reserve in the process of trying to introduce scimitar horned oryx to the land ahead. The horns of the oryx growing about 42 inches in length, taking the name from the Middle Eastern sword, the scimitar. Watch the hills up in front on the left. The introductions of animals to new territories, it's a complicated project. Probably lots of work has to be done. You see geyser activity and springs have been forming. The oryx come from the desert. They don't need lots of water. What do they want? Fresh water. There's plenty of that all around. Different predators have moved to the area. Well, see the horns on the oryx. They should be able to take care of themselves out here. Challenge they're going to face is people. There's more people that live here than ever before. Well, hopefully with the help of animal introduction teams. The oryx get used to the people. It's also important that people get used to them being here. Ideal goal of conservation, that animals and people learn to live together and one day learn to benefit from each other too. trail ahead. That should bring us to the main trail again. Yeah, main trail up ahead again. Once we're back on the main trail, we'll pass by a series of boarding posts, bring you back to the boarding post you started at. If you're still interested in those up-close animal encounters, I recommend you take a walk on the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. Or back to the village, you can take the train, the Wildlife Express, take it over toward Conservation Station. Get up close and personal sometimes, touch some of the animals out there.